Finding Fulfillment in a Hectic World, from the book The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Summary. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, a fictional story intended to inspire readers to find greater fulfillment in their lives. The story follows John, a successful lawyer, who rediscovers meaning in his life through the teachings of Julian, a former colleague who left his legal career to become a yogi. The excerpt highlights the key themes of the book: self-discovery, self-mastery, and the importance of living a life of purpose. The dialogue between John and Julian is presented as a series of chapters, each exploring a different virtue or technique taught by the Sages of Sivana, the mystical monks Julian encountered in his travels. The book ultimately aims to guide readers toward a more meaningful and fulfilling existence through practical strategies and principles. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is more than just a story about a man who gives up material wealth for spiritual enlightenment. It's a guide for anyone feeling lost, unfulfilled, or overwhelmed by the demands of modern life. The book presents a clear problem and a solution, using an engaging narrative format to illustrate its points. The problem: many people today, despite achieving outward success, feel inwardly empty and dissatisfied. They are trapped in a cycle of work, stress, and fleeting pleasures, neglecting their inner selves and losing sight of what truly matters. Julian Mantle, a high-flying lawyer, embodies this problem. Despite having wealth, fame, and professional success, he is deeply unhappy, unhealthy, and disconnected from his purpose. This internal struggle culminates in a life-altering heart attack, forcing him to confront the emptiness of his existence. The book proposes a solution rooted in the wisdom of the Sages of Sivana, a fictional group of monks who have mastered the art of living a fulfilling and joyful life. Their philosophy centers around 7 key virtues: mastering the mind, following one's purpose, practicing continuous self-improvement, kaizen, living with discipline, respecting time, selflessly serving others, and embracing the present moment. The sages believe that cultivating these virtues leads to inner peace, happiness, and a life of true meaning. Application examples. 1. The Burnt School. Julian recounts the story of Malika Chand, a schoolteacher in Calcutta. When her school burns down, many see it as a tragedy. However, Malika chooses to see it as an opportunity to build a better school for the community. Her positive outlook inspires others to contribute, leading to a beautiful new school that benefits many children. This example illustrates the power of master your mind, the first virtue, showcasing how shifting one's perspective can transform a seemingly negative event into a positive outcome. 2. The Public Pledge. To achieve goals, Julian suggests using positive pressure. A real-world example of this is making a public pledge. By announcing a goal to others, individuals create accountability for themselves, making it more likely they'll follow through. This strategy aligns with follow your purpose, demonstrating the importance of taking concrete steps towards one's goals. 3. The Power of Reading. To illustrate abundant knowledge, Julian highlights the importance of continuous learning through reading. Many successful people credit their accomplishments to a habit of reading books that offer wisdom, strategies, and solutions to life's challenges. The act of reading exposes individuals to diverse perspectives and provides valuable insights that can be applied to personal and professional growth. Through Julian's transformation and the stories he shares, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari offers a compelling blueprint for living a more purposeful, joyful, and meaningful life. The book reminds us that true happiness comes not from external possessions but from cultivating inner virtues and living in alignment with our deepest values. Summary of each chapter. Chapter 1, The Wake-Up Call. Sharma sets the stage for Julian Mantle's transformation by introducing him as a successful but deeply unhappy lawyer who suffers a life-altering heart attack. The chapter begins with Julian collapsing in a packed courtroom, a dramatic event that serves as a catalyst for his journey of self-discovery. The narrator, John, Julian's former protege and close friend, describes Julian's initial state as a high-achieving lawyer known for his expensive suits and relentless pursuit of success. John reveals that Julian had, in his younger days, possessed a drive for greatness, evidenced by a framed Winston Churchill quotation displayed in his office. However, over time, Julian's ambition had morphed into an unhealthy obsession with material wealth and external validation, leading to a decline in his physical and mental well-being. John recounts observing Julian's gradual deterioration over the years, noting his increasing stress levels, unhealthy lifestyle, and growing sense of emptiness despite his outward success. Julian's transformation is foreshadowed as John describes his friend's increasingly erratic behavior and withdrawal from personal relationships, culminating in a rumor circulating within the law firm that Julian was harboring a deep, dark secret. The turning point occurs when Julian suffers a massive heart attack in the same courtroom where he had previously celebrated one of his most significant legal victories. This dramatic event, witnessed by John and other colleagues, serves as a wake-up call for Julian, forcing him to confront his mortality and reevaluate his priorities. While the sources provide a detailed account of Julian's collapse and the immediate aftermath, they do not explicitly reveal the deep, dark secret alluded to earlier. The nature of this secret remains a mystery, creating a sense of intrigue and prompting readers to speculate about the underlying factors contributing to Julian's decline. This chapter establishes the foundation for Julian's transformation, presenting him as a cautionary tale of success without fulfillment. The chapter highlights the dangers of prioritizing material wealth and external validation over inner peace and genuine happiness. Julian's heart attack serves as a pivotal moment, forcing him to reevaluate his life and embark on a journey of self-discovery. Chapter 2, The Mysterious Visitor, recounts Julian Mantle's unexpected return to the law firm after a 3-year absence, marking the beginning of his transformation. It picks up immediately after the firm's emergency meeting, where news of Julian's heart attack sends shockwaves through his colleagues. John describes the somber atmosphere at the firm, highlighting the shared concern for Julian's well-being as well as the uncertainty surrounding his future and the impact of his absence on the firm's operations. The senior partners, particularly Old Man Harding, expressed their worries, emphasizing Julian's critical role in the firm's success. The chapter also hints at the financial implications of Julian's absence, revealing the firm's reliance on his ability to secure high-profile clients and generate significant revenue. Amidst this atmosphere of uncertainty, Julian's sudden reappearance at the firm creates a stir, captivating his colleagues and generating a sense of astonishment. John vividly portrays Julian's transformed appearance, contrasting his previous image as a tired old man with his newfound youthfulness and vitality. He describes Julian's radiant smile, his bright eyes, and the aura of serenity he exudes, captivating everyone present. This stark contrast between Julian's previous and current state underscores the profound impact of his 3-year absence and fuels curiosity about the experiences that led to this remarkable transformation. While the sources provide a detailed account of Julian's physical transformation, they offer limited insight into the specific events that transpired during his 3-year absence. This deliberate omission heightens the mystery surrounding Julian's journey and intensifies the reader's anticipation to uncover the secrets behind his newfound enlightenment. The chapter marks a pivotal turning point in the narrative, signaling Julian's return as a changed man and setting the stage for him to share the wisdom he gained during his time away. The chapter effectively uses suspense and contrast to emphasize the dramatic nature of Julian's transformation and pique the reader's curiosity about the experiences that led to his newfound enlightenment. Chapter 3, The Miraculous Transformation of Julian Mantle. John expresses astonishment at Julian's transformation, noting his vibrant appearance and youthful energy. Julian explains how the stress of the legal world impacted him not only physically and emotionally, but also spiritually. He describes how the constant demands of his career led to burnout and a disconnection from his true self. Julian's decision to sell all his possessions and travel to India symbolizes a rejection of his old life and a commitment to finding a new path. His journey through India, from village to village, represents a process of shedding material attachments and embracing a simpler way of life. Julian's interactions with the Indian people highlight their warmth and kindness, contrasting sharply with the competitive and materialistic nature of his former life. While Julian enjoyed the beauty and cultural richness of India, his journey had a deeper purpose, to seek out the secrets of longevity and spiritual awakening. He was particularly intrigued by the stories of yogis and monks who maintained youthful vitality despite their advanced age. Julian's search for knowledge led him to meet with numerous teachers and visit ancient temples, but the wisdom he craved continued to elude him. It was not until Julian encountered Yogi Krishnan, a former lawyer who had found peace and enlightenment as a temple caretaker, that his journey took a significant turn. Julian confided in Krishnan about his struggles and his desire to build a richer, fuller life. Krishnan offered sympathetic advice, emphasizing the importance of embracing the past and learning from setbacks. Krishnan, recognizing Julian's sincerity, shared a legend about a group of sages living high in the Himalayas, known as the Sages of Sivana. These sages possessed a holistic system for improving the quality of life, encompassing the mind, body, and soul. Intrigued, Julian set out to find the Sages of Sivana, embarking on a solitary trek through the treacherous Himalayan terrain. Julian's arduous journey through the Himalayas symbolizes the challenges and sacrifices required for personal growth and spiritual enlightenment. He faces physical hardships and moments of doubt but ultimately perseveres, driven by his unwavering desire for change. The stunning natural beauty Julian encounters along the way represents the transformative power of connecting with nature and the deeper truths it reveals. After 7 days of arduous travel, Julian encounters a mysterious figure dressed in a long red robe and blue hood. The man's youthful appearance and aura of peacefulness immediately captivate Julian. Sensing that he has found one of the Sages of Sivana, Julian shares his story, expressing his desire to learn the principles of enlightened living. The man, revealing himself to be Yogi Raman, the leader of the Sages of Sivana, invites Julian to their hidden temple. He acknowledges Julian's tenacity and offers to teach him the ancient wisdom their ancestors have preserved. In return, Raman asks Julian to share this knowledge with the West, helping others find hope and fulfillment. Julian readily accepts this pact, recognizing the profound significance of this encounter. Chapter 3 concludes with Julian and Yogi Raman embarking on the final leg of their journey to Sivana. Julian reflects on the momentous nature of this experience, sensing that this is the beginning of a new and extraordinary chapter in his life. Chapter 4, Entering the Nirvana of Sivana, begins with Julian and Yogi Raman arriving at a lush valley nestled within the Himalayas, described as the Nirvana of Sivana. The valley is a place of serenity and natural beauty, with snow-capped mountains on one side and a dense pine forest on the other. The vivid descriptions of the environment, the scent of pine and sandalwood, the feel of damp moss underfoot, and the vibrant orchids and flowers, emphasize the harmonious coexistence of nature and spirituality in Sivana. As they journey deeper into the valley, Julian encounters a sight that defies his expectations, a village constructed entirely of roses. The structures, including the central temple and the sages' huts, are meticulously crafted from red, white, and pink roses, held together with colorful strings and twigs. This extraordinary architectural feat emphasizes the sages' profound connection to nature and their ability to create beauty and harmony in the most unexpected ways. The inhabitants of Sivana, dressed in flowing robes similar to Yogi Raman's, move with a quiet purposefulness, maintaining the tranquility of their surroundings through silent actions. Yogi Raman introduces himself as the leader of the sages and emphasizes the importance of respect and observation within their community. The sages' youthful appearance, devoid of wrinkles and gray hair, hints at the effectiveness of their lifestyle in promoting longevity and vitality. Julian, overwhelmed by the beauty and serenity of Sivana, is offered a feast of fresh fruits and vegetables, a foreshadowing of the dietary practices that contribute to the sage's well-being. After the meal, Yogi Raman leads Julian to his own rose-filled hut, which will serve as his home during his time in Sivana. Despite the novelty of this environment, Julian feels a sense of belonging, as if returning to a familiar paradise. The chapter concludes with Julian embracing his new life among the sages, anticipating the wisdom and transformation that await him. Chapter 5, Unlocking the Potential Within. Sharma shifts the narrative back to John's living room, where Julian continues to recount his experiences in Sivana. Despite the late hour, John is captivated by Julian's story and eager to learn the wisdom he acquired during his time with the sages. Julian assures John that the methods he learned are applicable to anyone seeking a more fulfilling life and promises to reveal them in detail. The chapter focuses on Julian's early days as a student of Yogi Raman, highlighting the intensive learning process he underwent. Each day began before dawn with Yogi Raman imparting insights on the meaning of life and techniques for living with greater vitality, creativity, and fulfillment. Raman emphasized the importance of personal mastery and self-responsibility as key disciplines for achieving lasting inner peace and avoiding the chaos of a life driven by external circumstances. Julian's initial skepticism towards the simplicity of Raman's teachings mirrors John's own reservations about the transformative power of ancient wisdom. However, Julian describes how his perspective shifted as he witnessed the profound effects of the Sivanan system firsthand, observing the radiant health and unwavering happiness of the sages. Julian reveals that the core of the Sivanan system rests on 7 basic virtues, presented through a mystical fable shared by Yogi Raman. The fable, featuring a 9-foot-tall sumo wrestler, a towering lighthouse, and a garden filled with roses, serves as a symbolic representation of these virtues. Each element of the fable holds a deeper meaning, offering insights into the principles of enlightened living. Julian explains how the fable resonated with him, initially causing confusion but ultimately leading to a profound awakening. He describes how Yogi Raman emphasized the power of simplicity and the importance of looking beyond the surface to grasp the deeper truths embedded within the story. Raman believed that the fable, when properly understood, held the keys to unlocking one's full potential and living a life of purpose, joy, and inner peace. Concludes with Julian preparing to depart for the night, promising to return the following evening to continue sharing the wisdom of the Sivanan system. He leaves John with a sense of anticipation, eager to learn the practical applications of the 7 virtues embedded within Yogi Raman's fable. Transformation through ancient wisdom and symbolic storytelling. This chapter emphasizes the transformative power of ancient wisdom and the unique approach employed by the Sages of Sivana to impart their knowledge. The use of symbolic storytelling through Yogi Raman's fable highlights their belief in the power of metaphor and the importance of engaging both the conscious and subconscious mind in the learning process. The chapter sets the stage for the unveiling of the 7 virtues, which form the foundation of the Sivanan system. By introducing these virtues through a captivating fable, the sages ensure that the principles are not simply intellectual concepts but rather vivid and memorable images that can be readily applied to everyday life. It's worth noting that while the sources provide a detailed account of Julian's experiences in Sivana, they do not explicitly state the content of the 7 virtues. This information is likely revealed in subsequent chapters, as Julian continues to share the wisdom he acquired from the sages. Chapter 6, Unveiling the Sivanan System. This chapter marks a turning point in John and Julian's conversation, transitioning from the enchanting narrative of Sivana to the practical application of the sages' wisdom in everyday life. John, initially skeptical, begins to embrace the possibility of transforming his own life through the Sivanan system. Julian outlines the core tenets of the Sivanan system, emphasizing its holistic approach to well-being, encompassing personal, professional, and spiritual growth. He stresses that the sages' advice, while ancient, remains relevant in the modern world and offers a powerful antidote to the negativity and stress that pervade contemporary society. Julian's personal transformation serves as a testament to the effectiveness of the system, demonstrating its potential to restore vitality, purpose, and joy. Before revealing the specifics of the system, Julian requests a promise from John to apply the principles and techniques with unwavering commitment for a period of 1 month and, upon experiencing their benefits, to share this wisdom with others. This exchange highlights the importance of personal responsibility in the transformation process and the sages' belief in the ripple effect of positive change, extending outwards from the individual to the wider community. Julian then introduces the concept of the 7 virtues, the foundational principles of the Sivanan system, as encapsulated within Yogi Raman's mystical fable. He recounts the initial confusion he felt upon hearing the seemingly simple story and Raman's subsequent explanation of its deeper meaning. Each element of the fable, from the garden to the sumo wrestler, serves as a symbolic representation of a virtue, offering a memorable and accessible framework for understanding the principles of enlightened living. Julian stresses that the fable's simplicity does not diminish its power. He explains that Raman chose this unconventional teaching method to ensure that the wisdom resonated on both a conscious and subconscious level, bypassing intellectual barriers and fostering a deeper understanding of the virtues. The chapter concludes with Julian revealing the first of the 7 virtues, symbolized by the garden in Yogi Raman's fable, Master Your Mind. This virtue emphasizes the importance of cultivating a positive and empowering mindset, recognizing that thoughts shape reality and that even challenging experiences offer valuable lessons. Julian introduces specific techniques, such as the Heart of the Rose exercise, for clearing the mind of negativity and embracing a more optimistic and fulfilling perspective. Mastering the mind as the foundation for transformation. Sharma lays the groundwork for John's personal transformation by introducing the core principles of the Sivanan system and the importance of personal commitment in applying its wisdom. The emphasis on mastering the mind as the foundation for positive change highlights the sage's understanding of the interconnectedness between thoughts, emotions, and actions. By presenting the 7 virtues through a captivating fable, Julian ensures that the principles resonate deeply with John, bypassing intellectual barriers and engaging his imagination. This approach underscores the power of storytelling as a tool for transmitting wisdom and facilitating personal transformation. The chapter leaves the reader eager to learn about the remaining 6 virtues and the specific techniques for cultivating each one. It also hints at the broader spiritual underpinnings of the Sivanan system, suggesting that true fulfillment extends beyond material success and encompasses a deeper connection to one's purpose and the well-being of others. Chapter 7, Cultivating the Garden Within. Sharma focusing on the first virtue of the Sivanan system, Master Your Mind. Julian explains that the garden in Yogi Raman's fable symbolizes the mind, emphasizing the importance of nurturing and cultivating it to unlock its full potential. Just as a well-tended garden flourishes, a mind free from negativity and limiting beliefs can blossom beyond expectations. Julian highlights the detrimental effects of toxic waste on the mind, comparing negative thoughts, anxieties, and worries to pollutants that hinder growth and prevent inner peace. He stresses the importance of guarding the mind against such negativity, emphasizing that even a single negative thought can have far-reaching consequences. The Sivanan sages believe that the written character for worry resembles that of a funeral pyre, suggesting a direct link between negativity and the decline of mental and spiritual vitality. Julian emphasizes the immense power of the mind, noting that most people utilize only a fraction of their mental capacity. He describes how the sages, through disciplined practices, achieved extraordinary feats, such as controlling their heartbeat and slowing their breathing at will. These examples underscore the transformative potential of mental mastery and encourage readers to explore their own untapped mental resources. Challenging John's perspective on adversity, Julian introduces the concept of interpreting challenges as opportunities for growth rather than viewing them as insurmountable obstacles. He recounts the story of Malika Chand, a schoolteacher in Calcutta who, despite the tragic loss of her beloved school in a fire, rallied her community to build a new and improved institution. This story emphasizes the power of perspective and the ability to find meaning and opportunity even in the face of seemingly negative experiences. Julian encourages John to adopt a mindset of expectancy, believing in the possibility of achieving his dreams and focusing on his desired outcomes rather than dwelling on past failures. He emphasizes that this shift in perspective can unlock dormant potential and inspire action towards creating a more fulfilling life. To cultivate a positive and empowering mindset, Julian introduces the Heart of the Rose technique, a visualization exercise designed to calm the mind and focus attention. This technique involves visualizing a rose and progressively focusing on its center, training the mind to concentrate and resist distractions. Regular practice of this technique, according to Julian, can enhance mental clarity, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. Expanding on the theme of mental mastery, Julian introduces the concept of opposition thinking, a technique for countering negative thoughts with positive affirmations. He stresses that dwelling on negative thoughts only amplifies their power, while consciously replacing them with positive affirmations can gradually shift one's overall mindset and create a more optimistic outlook. Julian shares the Sivanan sages' belief in the power of sattvic or pure thoughts, achieved through practices such as meditation, positive affirmations, a natural diet, and surrounding oneself with positive influences. While he acknowledges that the sage's strict adherence to purity of thought might seem extreme, he emphasizes the importance of guarding the mind against negativity and the cumulative effect of even seemingly insignificant negative thoughts. To further illustrate the importance of mental mastery, Julian describes the secret of the lake, a visualization technique practiced by the Sivanan sages to enhance focus and clarity. This technique involves visualizing a serene lake, representing the mind, and progressively calming its surface to achieve a state of mental stillness and clarity. The chapter concludes with Julian reminding John of the interconnectedness between personal transformation and societal change, encouraging him to embrace the principles of the Sivanan system not only for his own benefit but also to inspire positive change in the world around him. He emphasizes that true self-improvement involves recognizing one's potential to contribute to the greater good and living in alignment with one's values. Chapter 7 provides practical techniques and insights for cultivating a positive and empowering mindset, emphasizing the transformative power of mental mastery in creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The chapter serves as a reminder that while external circumstances may present challenges, it is ultimately our internal state that determines our experience of the world and our ability to overcome adversity and achieve our goals. Chapter 8, Igniting the Flame of Purpose, continues John and Julian's exploration of the Sivanan system, focusing on the second virtue, symbolized by the lighthouse in Yogi Raman's fable, Follow Your Purpose. Julian emphasizes that a life infused with purpose is a life truly worth living, arguing that those who discover and pursue their calling find lasting fulfillment and satisfaction. He reveals that this seemingly simple principle was a key turning point in his own transformation. Before sharing the specific techniques for uncovering and pursuing one's purpose, Julian reminds John of his promise to share the Sivanan wisdom with others. He stresses the importance of disseminating the sage's message, particularly in a world increasingly plagued by negativity and uncertainty. This exchange highlights the ripple effect of positive change and the interconnectedness between personal growth and contributing to the greater good. Drawing on his experience in Sivana, Julian emphasizes the importance of living a life of service, suggesting that true fulfillment arises from contributing to something larger than oneself. He shares the sage's belief that he who serves the most, reaps the most, highlighting the interconnectedness between personal well-being and making a positive impact on the world. Returning to the symbolism of the lighthouse, Julian explains its significance as a beacon of guidance, representing the clarity and direction that arise from having a clearly defined purpose in life. He recounts a conversation with Yogi Raman who, despite living a seemingly simple life in the Himalayas, recognized the importance of having goals and working towards them with focused intention. This conversation challenges the notion that a life of contemplation and spiritual pursuits is incompatible with achievement and productivity. Julian emphasizes that achievement need not be solely material, but can encompass a wide range of pursuits, including spiritual growth, self-mastery, and the cultivation of inner peace. He shares Raman's personal goal of attaining enlightenment, illustrating that even those living in a seemingly detached environment find purpose and direction and striving towards a meaningful objective. Julian introduces the concept of constancy of purpose, emphasizing the importance of aligning one's daily actions with one's overarching goals and values. He argues that true happiness stems from making progress towards a worthy aim, finding joy in the journey itself rather than solely focusing on the end result. This perspective challenges the tendency to delay happiness until some future point in time, encouraging readers to find fulfillment in the present moment while working towards their goals. To further clarify the concept of purpose, Julian contrasts it with goal setting, explaining that while setting goals is essential for mapping out a desired outcome, true purpose goes beyond specific achievements and encompasses a broader vision for one's life. He reveals that the Sivanan sages were, in fact, proponents of goal setting, recognizing its power to focus the mind and inspire action. To illustrate the power of writing down one's goals and aspirations, Julian recounts a story of a young Sivanan girl he encountered who, despite living in a minimalist environment, possessed a journal filled with her dreams and aspirations. This story challenges the notion that material wealth is a prerequisite for dreaming big and encourages readers to embrace their aspirations regardless of their current circumstances. Julian introduces the magic rule of 21, highlighting the Sivanan sage's belief that it takes approximately 21 days to solidify a new habit. This principle emphasizes the importance of consistency in pursuing one's goals and the transformative power of small, incremental changes over time. Finally, Julian emphasizes the importance of passion in pursuing one's purpose, arguing that a burning desire is the most potent fuel for achieving one's dreams. He laments the lack of passion in modern society, suggesting that many have become disconnected from their true desires and have settled for a life of mediocrity. He encourages John to reconnect with his passions and pursue them with unwavering enthusiasm. Chapter 8 illuminates the transformative power of living a life infused with purpose, offering practical advice and techniques for uncovering and pursuing one's calling. By drawing on his experiences in Sivana and sharing the wisdom of the sages, Julian inspires John, and the reader, to embrace a life of meaning, service, and fulfillment. The chapter underscores the interconnectedness between personal growth, contributing to the greater good, and experiencing true and lasting happiness. Chapter 9, The Power of Self-Mastery, continues John's journey of learning from Julian about the Sivanan system, focusing on the virtue of self-mastery, symbolized by the 9-foot-tall, 900-pound Japanese sumo wrestler in Yogi Raman's fable. Julian begins by reiterating his commitment to sharing the wisdom he gained in Sivana, emphasizing the profound impact it has had on his own life. He acknowledges John's growing belief in the Sivanan principles, noting that John's initial skepticism has given way to genuine interest and a desire to learn. Julian explains that the sumo wrestler represents the concept of kaizen, a Japanese term signifying constant and never-ending improvement. This principle, central to the Sivanan philosophy, emphasizes the importance of continuous self-improvement and personal growth as the foundation for success in all areas of life. Julian argues that by focusing on developing one's inner world, cultivating discipline, energy, optimism, and a strong character, one naturally attracts positive outcomes in their external world. To illustrate the concept of kaizen, Julian recalls his initial resistance to the idea of self-improvement, admitting that his ego and closed-mindedness had previously hindered his personal growth. He then describes a physical exercise that Yogi Raman instructed him to do, which involved repeatedly pushing himself to his physical limits. Through this experience, Julian realized that pushing beyond one's perceived limitations unlocks hidden reserves of mental and physical strength, leading to personal expansion and a greater sense of self-mastery. Julian encourages John to embrace the zone of the unknown, arguing that venturing beyond one's comfort zone fosters growth and unlocks untapped potential. He suggests that fear is often the primary obstacle to entering this zone and advises facing fears head-on as a means of conquering them. To further illustrate this point, Julian shares an anecdote about lawyers who were terrified of appearing in court, highlighting how fear can paralyze even those in professions that seemingly demand courage. Julian emphasizes that true fearlessness is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite fear, drawing on inner strength and resolve to overcome challenges. He shares the Sivanan belief that everyone possesses an innate capacity for fearlessness, urging John to tap into his own inner strength and conquer the imaginary little gremlins that prevent him from living a bolder, more fulfilling life. Julian then introduces the 10 rituals for radiant living, practical techniques designed to cultivate a more balanced, joyful, and purposeful existence. He acknowledges John's initial skepticism about the efficacy of these seemingly simple rituals but assures him that consistent application will yield transformative results. Julian underscores that the 10 rituals are not a quick-fix solution but rather a long-term commitment to personal growth and self-care. He encourages John to view these rituals as an investment in himself, emphasizing that the time and effort dedicated to self-improvement will pay dividends in all areas of his life. The first ritual, the ritual of solitude, involves setting aside time each day for quiet contemplation and introspection. This practice, similar to the period of peace discussed in Chapter 7, allows for mental and emotional rejuvenation, providing a space to connect with one's inner self and gain clarity amidst the busyness of daily life. The second ritual, the ritual of physicality, emphasizes the importance of regular physical exercise as a means of maintaining both physical and mental well-being. Julian highlights the interconnectedness of mind and body, explaining that a healthy body supports a healthy mind. The third ritual, the ritual of live nourishment, focuses on the importance of a healthy diet, advocating for a predominantly plant-based approach with an emphasis on fresh fruits, vegetables, and grains. Julian shares his personal experience of transforming his diet after years of unhealthy eating habits, noting that a shift towards healthier eating contributed to his overall sense of well-being. The fourth ritual, the ritual of abundant knowledge, centers on the value of continuous learning and expanding one's knowledge base. Julian emphasizes the importance of not just acquiring knowledge but also applying it in practical ways to improve one's life and contribute to the world. He specifically recommends reading as a key component of this ritual, advocating for spending at least 30 minutes each day reading books that are both enriching and inspiring. The fifth ritual, the ritual of personal reflection, encourages taking time for introspection and self-evaluation. This practice involves reflecting on one's daily actions and thoughts, identifying areas for improvement, and cultivating greater self-awareness. Julian suggests keeping a journal to document this process, promoting a deeper understanding of one's strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. The sixth ritual, the ritual of early awakening, advocates for starting the day early to maximize productivity and capitalize on the quiet energy of the morning hours. Julian acknowledges that this may require a shift in habits but suggests that the benefits outweigh the initial discomfort of adjusting one's sleep schedule. The seventh ritual, the ritual of music, encourages incorporating music into one's daily routine as a source of inspiration, joy, and emotional upliftment. Julian shares the Sivanan belief in the transformative power of music, noting that it can evoke positive emotions, reduce stress, and foster a sense of connection with something larger than oneself. The eighth ritual, the ritual of the spoken word, emphasizes the power of language and the importance of using positive affirmations and mantras to shape one's mindset and influence one's reality. Julian explains that the words we use, both internally and externally, have a profound impact on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. The ninth ritual, the ritual of congruent character, centers on living in alignment with one's values and striving to embody virtues such as kindness, integrity, and compassion. Julian suggests that true happiness and fulfillment arise from living a life congruent with one's deepest beliefs and principles. The 10th and final ritual, the ritual of simple living, encourages embracing a life of simplicity and minimizing material attachments. Julian argues that by focusing on experiences rather than possessions and prioritizing meaningful connections over material wealth, one can cultivate greater contentment and inner peace. This chapter provides a comprehensive framework for cultivating self-mastery, emphasizing the interconnectedness of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. By introducing the 10 rituals for radiant living, Julian offers practical techniques for transforming one's daily routine into a practice of self-care, personal growth, and spiritual development. Chapter 10, The Power of Discipline. The exploration of Yogi Raman's fable, focusing on the virtue of self-discipline, symbolized by the pink wire cable covering the sumo wrestler's private parts. Julian begins by reminding John of the sumo wrestler's appearance, emphasizing the seemingly insignificant detail of the pink wire cable. He explains that this seemingly minor element holds profound symbolic meaning, representing the power of small, consistent actions in building a strong will and achieving self-mastery. Julian draws a parallel between the pink wire cable and the principles of self-control and willpower, arguing that just as a cable is composed of numerous thin wires that together create immense strength, so too can small, disciplined actions, performed routinely, cultivate remarkable inner strength. He supports this concept with the African proverb, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step," highlighting the transformative power of consistent effort over time. To further emphasize the importance of discipline, Julian shares a personal anecdote about receiving a locket from Yogi Raman as a symbol of their bond and a reminder of the principles he had learned in Sivana. He reveals that the locket is engraved with a powerful mantra, "Through the steel of discipline, you will forge a character rich with courage and peace. Through the virtue of will, you are destined to rise to life's highest ideal and live a truly magnificent life." Julian explains that this mantra, repeated consistently, helps to develop self-control and an indomitable will. He emphasizes the profound influence of words on the mind, arguing that by consciously choosing to focus on words of hope, kindness, and courage, one can cultivate these qualities within themselves. Julian encourages John to adopt this mantra, suggesting that he repeat it at least 30 times a day while visualizing himself embodying the qualities of discipline and strength. He explains that by combining the power of words with the practice of creative visualization, one can accelerate the process of personal transformation. Julian then introduces the vow of silence, a practice he observed among the Sages of Sivana, in which they would refrain from speaking for an extended period to strengthen their willpower and discipline. He clarifies that this is not about suppressing one's voice but rather about consciously choosing when and how to use it, highlighting the empowering nature of self-control. Julian argues that developing self-discipline allows one to overcome the tendency to make excuses for their shortcomings, promoting a sense of personal responsibility and accountability for one's actions and choices. He emphasizes that by understanding the immense potential within each individual, we can break free from self-limiting beliefs and embrace a life of greater purpose and fulfillment. Julian encourages John to gradually implement the principles of discipline in his life, suggesting that even small changes, such as waking up an hour earlier each day or taking a few minutes for quiet contemplation, can have a significant impact on his overall well-being. He emphasizes that the journey of self-transformation is a gradual process, built upon consistent effort and a commitment to personal growth. This chapter highlights the transformative power of discipline as a cornerstone of a meaningful and fulfilling life. By sharing practical techniques such as mantras, creative visualization, and the vow of silence, Julian provides tools for cultivating greater self-control and willpower, empowering individuals to break free from limiting habits and embrace their full potential. Chapter 11, The Value of Time, centers on the concept of time management, symbolized by the shiny gold stopwatch in Yogi Raman's fable. Julian begins by reflecting on the irony of life, noting that many people only realize what they truly want and how to achieve it when it's too late. He connects this observation to the symbolism of the stopwatch, emphasizing the finite nature of time and the importance of utilizing it wisely. Julian reminds John of the sumo wrestler slipping on the stopwatch, emphasizing that this seemingly humorous detail underscores the importance of valuing and managing time effectively. He acknowledges John's realization that the fable serves as a mnemonic device, helping to retain the wisdom embedded within its symbolism. Julian emphasizes that each element of the fable, including the stopwatch, holds profound significance, offering valuable lessons for personal growth and a more fulfilling life. He directly states that the stopwatch represents time, asserting that it is the most valuable commodity, even above positive thinking, goal setting, and self-mastery. Julian illustrates this by recounting a story about Divya, one of the Sages of Sivana, who gifted him a miniature hourglass made of blown glass and sandalwood. He explains that this seemingly simple object served as a constant reminder of the preciousness of time and the importance of living a purposeful and productive life. Julian emphasizes that while everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, the key to success lies in how we choose to use that time. He acknowledges John's observation that busy people often seem to have more time, agreeing that this is because they are efficient in managing their time. Julian emphasizes that effective time management is not about becoming a workaholic but rather about intentionally structuring one's time to prioritize what is most important. He suggests that by taking a small amount of time each day or week to plan and organize our schedules, we can create a more balanced and fulfilling life. He emphasizes the importance of including personal, social, and spiritual goals in our schedules, ensuring that these areas receive adequate attention alongside professional obligations. Julian introduces the ancient rule of 20, a principle he learned from Yogi Raman, which states that 80% of the results we achieve in life come from only 20% of our activities. He uses John's busy Monday as an example, suggesting that out of all the tasks John might undertake that day, only a few would contribute significantly to his overall success and well-being. He encourages John to identify the meat of his activities, those tasks that generate the most meaningful results, and focus his time and energy on those, rather than getting bogged down in less important fat. Julian asserts that by prioritizing essential tasks, we can create a more streamlined and fulfilling life, achieving greater results with less effort. He cautions against allowing others to control our time, advising that we be wary of time thieves, people who constantly demand our attention and pull us away from our priorities. Julian emphasizes the importance of learning to say no gracefully but firmly, protecting our time to focus on what matters most. He suggests that declining small, unimportant requests will free up our time and energy to pursue more meaningful endeavors. Julian argues that setting boundaries and prioritizing our time demonstrates self-respect and, counterintuitively, often leads to greater respect from others. Julian concludes the chapter by sharing a personal anecdote about his struggle to find simplicity and balance in his own life, even amidst material abundance. He encourages John to explore ways to simplify his life, suggesting that this might involve reducing unnecessary commitments or minimizing distractions such as excessive phone calls and emails. This chapter highlights the importance of time as a finite resource, emphasizing the need for effective time management to create a balanced and fulfilling life. By introducing the ancient rule of 20 and offering practical advice on setting boundaries and prioritizing tasks, Julian provides a framework for maximizing our use of time and achieving greater results in all areas of life. Chapter 12, The Ultimate Purpose of Life. Sharma shifts the focus from personal development to the importance of selfless service to others. Julian begins by reflecting on the kindness he witnessed among the Sages of Sivana, recalling Yogi Raman's belief that true happiness is found in contributing to the well-being of others. Connecting this concept to Yogi Raman's fable, Julian highlights the symbol of the fragrant yellow roses, reminding John of the ancient Chinese proverb, "A little bit of fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses." He explains that this proverb illustrates the principle that by working to improve the lives of others, we indirectly enhance our own lives. Julian emphasizes that by engaging in acts of kindness daily, our lives become more meaningful and fulfilling. He suggests that this goes beyond simply volunteering our time and involves adopting a new perspective on our role in the world, shifting from a self-centered mindset to one focused on contributing to the greater good. When John expresses confusion about the concept of a paradigm, Julian clarifies that it refers to a way of seeing the world, a set of beliefs and assumptions that shape our understanding of reality. He emphasizes that shifting to a paradigm centered on serving others can profoundly impact our experience of life, leading to greater happiness and fulfillment. To illustrate the importance of this paradigm shift, Julian shares a story about an elderly woman who is mistreated by her son and daughter-in-law. After her family relegates her to a small table in the corner due to her declining physical abilities, her young grandson observes their behavior and begins building a small table of his own. When questioned by his parents, the boy explains that he is building the table for them to use when they become old, highlighting the impact of their actions and prompting them to reconsider their treatment of the elderly woman. Julian explains that the story is not meant to demonize the parents but rather to illustrate the power of awareness and compassion in transforming our behavior. He argues that by cultivating compassion and engaging in daily acts of kindness, we create a more harmonious and fulfilling life for ourselves and others. Julian encourages John to incorporate this principle into his daily life, suggesting that he start each day by meditating on the good he can do for others. He suggests simple acts of kindness such as offering words of praise, supporting friends in need, and expressing affection to loved ones, emphasizing that these seemingly small gestures can have a profound impact on the quality of our relationships and our overall well-being. He specifically highlights the importance of nurturing friendships, noting that true friends provide support, encouragement, and companionship, enriching our lives in countless ways. Julian emphasizes that investing time and effort in cultivating meaningful relationships is essential for a happy and fulfilling life. This chapter marks a significant shift in Julian's teachings, moving from a focus on personal development to the importance of selfless service in achieving true happiness and fulfillment. He encourages a paradigm shift from self-centeredness to a focus on contributing to the well-being of others, emphasizing that by elevating the lives of those around us, we ultimately elevate our own lives. Chapter 13, The Timeless Secret of Lifelong Happiness. Sharma unveils the final virtue for enlightened living, embracing the present moment. Julian introduces this concept through the final element of Yogi Raman's fable, the Path of Diamonds, emphasizing the importance of appreciating the beauty and abundance present in our lives. As in previous chapters, Julian emphasizes the symbolic significance of each element in Yogi Raman's fable, explaining that the Path of Diamonds represents the journey of life and the importance of savoring each moment. He reminds John that the sumo wrestler, after overcoming various challenges and embracing self-discipline, finds lasting fulfillment by following this path, symbolizing the joy that arises from living fully in the present. Julian emphasizes that true happiness is not found in chasing external achievements or material possessions, but rather in appreciating the simple joys of life. He argues that by shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already possess, we can cultivate a deep sense of gratitude and contentment, unlocking the secret to lifelong happiness. Julian shares a personal anecdote about a period of intense grief following the tragic death of his daughter. He recounts how he lost himself in his work, seeking solace in his career but ultimately finding himself increasingly isolated and unhappy. His experience underscores the futility of seeking happiness outside of ourselves, emphasizing that true fulfillment arises from embracing the present moment and appreciating the beauty and wonder that surrounds us. He acknowledges John's skepticism, recognizing that the concept of finding happiness in the midst of suffering can seem counterintuitive. However, Julian emphasizes that embracing the present moment does not require ignoring or denying pain but rather involves shifting our perspective to recognize the abundance that still exists in our lives, even in the face of adversity. He suggests that by practicing gratitude, we can train our minds to focus on the positive aspects of our lives, leading to greater happiness and fulfillment. He encourages John to spend a few minutes each day reflecting on the things he is grateful for, emphasizing that this simple practice can have a profound impact on his overall well-being. Julian emphasizes the importance of connecting to a higher purpose, suggesting that by aligning our actions with our values and passions, we can find greater meaning and fulfillment in life. He argues that when we are engaged in work that we find meaningful, our daily tasks become less of a chore and more of an expression of our true selves, leading to a greater sense of joy and satisfaction. Julian concludes by sharing a story about the construction of the Taj Mahal, emphasizing that just as this magnificent structure was built block by block over many years, so too can we create extraordinary lives through consistent effort and a commitment to living in the present. He encourages John to embrace the journey of life, recognizing that true happiness lies not in reaching some distant destination but rather in appreciating the beauty and wonder present in each moment. This chapter provides a powerful conclusion to Julian's teachings, emphasizing the importance of embracing the present moment, practicing gratitude, and connecting to a higher purpose as essential ingredients for a truly joyful and fulfilling life. Thank you for listening. I hope this content is useful to you. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our team.